Hello everyone, I'm Ethan, and today I will be saying some stuff about the movie The Long Walk, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King novel and was low-key really overshadowed by the Demon Slayer Infinity Temple Castle, whatever you would like to call it movie. This review will contain spoilers, so if you're worried about that, click off, save the video, come back, or something of the sorts. If you don't mind, then feel free to keep watching, obviously, but I will be covering some pretty heavy spoiler stuff. Unfortunately, I feel like it wasn't really given the sort of same public eye that the Demon Slayer movie was. It had obviously the promotional stuff where they had the treadmills and you had to walk to keep watching the movie and stuff, which I think would have been really fun. I want to do that at some point. Probably when the movie comes to digital or something of the sorts, I'll do the challenge, I guess. Especially for something that already didn't really have a bunch of people's interest. Especially me, I didn't really have much interest in this at first until I decided on just like an offhand day. I was like, oh, like, why not? Like, why not? I want to go watch something. So I went to watch the movie and blew me away. Really, really good. Everything about this is done really well. It's a really down-to-earth human movie, even though I'm probably going to repeat some of the stuff I've already said, but very good in that aspect. All the performances we have here are incredible. Everyone in the main group is great. Every emotional moment hits close to home. And also, while I haven't read the book, so some information about these characters may be different in the book, and I know the ending is different and such, but I'm going specifically based off the movie adaptations of the characters in the story. We're going to go kind of down the list here of the actors and their performances in general and what their character actually represents in the larger story. Starting with Charlie Plummer's character, who plays Barkovich, who's kind of like the asshole, basically. He's, at least that's the impression we get of him in the movie. It kind of is given the like subliminal theming that he was abused at home, kind of with the banter that he has back and forth with Peter, David Johnson's character, when they talk about Peter's scar, and they just go back and forth, and Barkovich seems really like pressed about these comments that are made towards his character. But great asshole character. He really nailed it. Like, I really just did not like him in the movie, so did his job well at especially when he kind of, I guess, tripped the character early in the movie. I don't remember specifically which one it was, but obviously he carried that guilt with him throughout most of the movie. Next we have Jordan Gonzalez, who played the character of Harkness, who was trying to make a book about the Long Walk, and his death was really graphic. But I think all of the graphic scenes that were utilized in this movie and stuff really needed to kind of stress this. Also, whenever there is deaths, either it cuts immediately after, or it like brutally shows how graphic like death is. And I think that's really important to show in something that's such a grounded story. And especially for this movie, I love the editing work of it cutting, especially after the flashback with Ray's dad, and as soon as he gets shot, it cuts back to the present day. And even though we didn't really have much time with Harkness's character, I really was kind of hit like hard by his death. A lot of the deaths in this movie, even if it's not a character you fully like, I think they're done emotionally really well, and I really got to give the movie praise for that. It's a really good emotional movie. We have Roman Griffin Davis as the character of Curly, who we don't really get much screen time with him either, but his death is pretty sad. And his death gives Ray kind of a showcase at how much he cares about everyone around him. And it really helps push the fact that he's set on change for other people, but throughout this, he really grows an attachment. I think this movie is a really beautiful thing about connection between people and determination overall. And that's kind of a lasting theme throughout every character overall and throughout the movie, especially with the character of David Johnson as Peter. I low-key was thinking for a good chunk of this movie, obviously I bought into the fact that he was real at first, but during kind of the middle part and stuff, especially once we got to the nighttime sequence, I was thinking that potentially he was like a hallucination, or just like in his in Ray's mind, to kind of the manifestation of his determination to win this. And like Peter picking him up at night when he was gonna fall asleep and he was gonna go out, or like helping him march up the mountain still throughout everything going down around him. Like, I really thought he was just personification of his determination to win this, especially with them being the last two. But obviously that's not ultimately what it was, but I thought that would have been interesting at first when I was watching it. But I'm also not going to complain because we got some really beautiful connection between Cooper Hoffman's character and David Johnson. They're both great actors, and they've said that they want to work together again in the future, so I'm interested in seeing that. We also have the character of Arthur, played by Tut Nyuit, and he's also really, really good in this. I haven't seen anything he's in before. I feel like I could say that about a lot of people in this cast except for David Johnson, who was also exceptional in Alien Romulus. And I'm just looking forward to seeing a lot of work from every single one of these people in this cast again, whether they have stuff already that I need to go check out, but they're just all really good in this movie. But especially his character as Arthur, I find him just a very charming character. He's just very fun to watch on screen, as most of these characters are, and was also very sad once he ultimately had received his ticket. As I keep repeating, all these deaths were very emotional, especially at the end where we have Ray's death ultimately, which I did not expect. Great twist there. And also Stebbins was also one that hit pretty close when he's sitting there talking about how he was doing this to kind of cheat it, I guess, but then he realized that it was pointless, and then he was asking if it was going to rain and such. Just great moments overall from all the bonding and all these characters. Very human and emotional moments that I really love, and I literally could not recommend this movie enough. Also, the soundtrack at the moment of Olsen's death is one of the most beautiful tracks I have heard in a movie this year, so huge props there. I've listened to it a couple times outside of the movie, and it's just so beautiful with the synth heavy stuff.
Why are you crying?
This is not the most beautiful piece of art I ever heard in my life.
But unfortunately, with all these pros, I do have to get into a con, which is the fact that some of the editing work is kind of weird at times. Not overall how the movie's edited, but more so the actual audio stuff, as when Stebbins actually gets sick and he starts coughing and such, it'll cut to it being in the air, and I don't know, just some of the coughing sounds like it was recorded in a booth and doesn't really sound like it was made in an open road. But maybe this is me nitpicking. I don't think it sounds the greatest, but nobody else that I've talked to about this movie has noticed that yet, so probably just me. But it leads me to give the movie a 4.5 due to the 0.5 being taken off, because just like I said, a little bit of the nitpicking with the audio stuff. But overall, movie is solid. Don't understand the people that are saying it's boring and anything. Like, I guess if your attention span isn't great or anything of sorts, if you just want pure action. But this is a great emotional movie about humans and bonding and determination, and I highly, highly recommend checking this out. Please go watch it before it's gone. It should be in theaters a little while longer at the time of me recording this still, but unfortunately it was really overshadowed by the release of the Demon Slayer movie. So hopefully it can pick up from that kind of loss and they understand that this was good, or at least see the kind of discussion online about this, because every other video I've seen about this, they really don't seem like they're interested in what they're talking about at all. Or even online, I'm barely seeing people talk about this movie like they're interested in it. It's either just people hating on it for being boring or anything. I've had people walk out of it too, or it's just people that just don't care. They don't seem to care about what they're watching, and they kind of just list off facts that they have about the movie or something. But I don't know. I'm not here to attack other people. I'm just saying I wish this movie had more people passionate about it, because easily one of the better movies I've seen this year, and there's a lot of solid movies that come out this year. I also need to make note of the fact that the cinematography in this movie is gorgeous, especially the final sequence in the rain is very, very well lit, and I keep thinking about it. It's just so well lit, and the rain, and just overall it's a very beautiful scene. I really love that scene in particular of the movie, not even on a meaning wise or anything about that, but just in general, it's a very beautiful shot part of the movie. But as always, thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment down below if you would like to see more of these videos. I'll still be doing them regardless, but just to kind of show your support for me putting these out, I really appreciate it all. Just everything I've been getting over the past few months, I really appreciate you all for just supporting it. It's really cool. If you want to get in contact with me, I'm most active on Twitter. I have my link tree linked in all of my socials. On everything, you'll be able to find a link to everything I'm on, so you could get in contact with me somehow, some way if you would like to. And until next time, see ya.